Video is not good at messaging. Humans are good at messaging. So what's the problem? It's the most noisiest space. Every time somebody creates a video, it is going to get noisier and noisier. So then what's going to break the clutter?
Welcome to ReFuel. This entire series we are producing for young people in marketing and especially in video-related, teams and freelancers.
So hi, I'm Aniruddha. I've been in communications for the last 15 years as a profession. But like I think I've been in communications all my life because I think we communicate to get what we want. So it's something that's very natural to us, and I love studying it and love diving deeper into it.
Beyond video right now, but you have made use of video in terms of being on podcasts and interviews before. So for you as a founder of Ideosphere and as a person as well, like how does it feel for you to be on video as a leader of your company and for someone who wants to share your ideas?
I mean, it feels comfortable now. I think as just society, we are just so much more comfortable with video now. Starting all the way back in the pandemic when basically video was where we met. I think more and more we are comfortable being on video. And to answer your question, how does it feel? I think it's a great way and a great tool to be able to reach many people with what you have to say and what your thoughts are.
Can you tell us a bit about Ideosphere Consulting? What does it do and who do you do it for?
Interesting. So Ideosphere, we are 15 years old. And when me and my co-founder Meenal, when we thought of starting this, we are like first-time entrepreneurs. So it was not, there was no clear direction or how we wanted to do the business, but there was a sense of purpose of saying, okay, we want to be able to influence this industry to do better. And that meant first we have to be able to do better at what is there and then kind of evolve. I think with all of us now that are there as leaders of the firm, I think we have, as a company, been able to kind of anchor down on messaging as a space that we are very excited about, that we want to go deep in. And it kind of then actually expands across every part of our business. Of course, in the brand positioning, messaging plays a huge role in terms of how do we want to articulate what we want to say, why do we want to say it in the first place? And then it goes into how do we want to say it? So what type of content, what type of formats, which is where video comes in, and then we have content, and then obviously then taking it out to the market, whether it's through any type of media influencer that exists. So the whole end-to-end delivery layer of communications, to us at Ideosphere, we believe it lands on the power of the message and if it's simple, intentional, and relevant.
In what ways do you think video is uniquely good at in terms of messaging that text and design can't do?
Video is not good at messaging. Humans are good at messaging. I think nobody communicates better than a human being. And I would like to believe that, and I want to be optimistic about that fact. But I feel video has the ability to compress meaning into 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 6 seconds, 2 hours, 4 hours, like the latest Durandar film. But I think it has an ability to compress a lot of insight, perspective, data, emotion, all into one. And when done right, it gives that clarity in a short period of time. And I think that's the real power of video. Because if you look at communications, I mean, you want to be able to see it. You always heard picture speaks 1,000 words. You want to be able to say it. You can have text on screen. It gives you so much ability to be able to do so many things and communicate either directly or indirectly so many things on one screen that you're able to compress that meaning. And that person who's consuming that video also feels like, hey, this was great. I got to consume what would have normally taken me 2 hours by text in 1 minute of a video. That's a win for me.
I want you to tell me just that one most controversial opinion that you hold today about the use of video, especially in business.
Okay, let's look at how video, at least in the recent time, has kind of shaped our society a bit. And I was thinking about this before this interview. So I'm not going to start at the beginning of cinema or something, but I'm saying, okay, YouTube came out and that completely changed. It kind of started, so for me, I think it's the origin of what happened with YouTube, with videos exploding. But it gave an ability for me to put my videos out and being able to be seen by so many people. It created shareability, right? And then you kind of move from that to saying, okay, not just shareability of video, but hey, I can put broadcasting in your pocket. So I can stand anywhere and do a Facebook Live, for example. Now I have broadcasting capabilities in my pocket. And right after that, and right around the same time, the pandemic happened. And like I said before, it created video as more than a tool, but a destination. Like, because you met people on video. And whether you liked it or not, you started getting acclimatized and adopting these platforms, because otherwise you had no human contact anyways. It forced us to actually embrace the tool of video as a part of our culture, as a part of our everyday life, because otherwise we don't know how to talk to our relatives or our friends or our colleagues. And so video had to be a part of it. And then jump to today, where you're saying, okay, you also have production in your pocket. Every single tool is available. Everyone can create a video. Now, what has that enabled? That has enabled the fact that, that there are so many videos that are being created every day, in form of reels or long format, short format, etc. Now, that is a good thing. But every time that this has evolved over the years, and as we've come to where we are right now, every time you see a video that you say, hey, that's a great video, that's a great way to communicate the message, that win for the video incrementally adds to another truth that is being created. And that truth is that attention becomes more and more expensive. It means that people want shorter and shorter formats, because they're like, hey, I just realized that you can tell me something in 30 seconds that would have taken me 30 minutes. It's the strongest medium out there to reach out to your consumers. It's the best way to tell story. It's the best way to tell about your brand. But then what's the problem? Everyone can do it. So what's the problem? It's the most noisiest space. Theoretically speaking, my 6-year-old can create a video if I teach him the right way. But then why is my video going to be better than his, and why is a great filmmaker's video going to be better than mine? That delta is the space that is what's going to rule.
What makes someone share a video? It's not possible to predict the virality of content, but how do you design the content and distribute it in such a way that the probability of it spreading fast increases?
Mayur used to always laugh at this thing. You cannot just make a viral video, it becomes viral. Like, okay. So I think then the question that you're asking is very correct, that okay, if you cannot make a viral video and it just happens an outcome, then therefore what does virality mean? Well, virality means that okay, more and more people are talking about it, sharing it, there is some reason behind it. Now, good or bad, right? It could be for good reasons or bad reasons. But I think I don't think I have the whole list of answers, but what could incite somebody to share something? One is relevance. Like, this is exactly what I'm going through right now. So if I'm going through it and I see it at that right time, then yes, then I want to share it with other people who I also know who are going through it, saying, hey, you got to see this. Second is the simplicity of it, that hey, this is so well done. It's so simple to understand, and this is exactly what we've been trying to talk about, right? And so that is also something that you'd share. And third is net new. Like, wow, I have never seen this topic being addressed or explored or peeled back in this way. And this is amazing, and I've never seen that. And I would say the fourth is using a existing methodology or an arc or something like that to a new concept. Like, hey, or using it for a concept which is never done before.
How do you take a message? And for this, maybe if you can also give us an example of a message that, let's say, an organization or a business wants to convey. How do you take that message and then walk towards, executing a video?
Firstly, I think the first thing you want to do is, even before you try to figure out what is the concept for the video or the script or whatever, right? You have to take like 4 or 5 steps back. And I think messaging starts with, what is the organization want to articulate? Can I say this in a simple way? Can I understand that these are the messages that I want to deliver? These are the heroes of whatever content I'm going to create on video. And we always say that message is the substance, and around which you build this creativity layer. Because now, once I have that core message, which is a simple, articulated phrase, sentence, etc., of exactly what I want to tell people, now I can connect that to anything. And so therefore, how do you choose which one? That's where you have to go to who's going to consume. And I think the consumer of the video, their demographic, their behavior, their preferences, their fears. These are all the things that are going to go into what is the approach, or let's say what is the arc, the story arc that you want to take to tell your message.
How are you using AI for your work at Ideosphere these days? For which kind of functions or which kind of use cases?
Everything. I wrote this script also in using ChatGPT, so I'm just memorizing that and telling. No, I'm kidding. But I can. Then that's the cool part. I could have, right? But if I did that, you would know that my authenticity is missing, right? And so the areas where we as an organization use AI very, very openly and proudly is where you don't need to be authentic. You just need to get it done. It's where execution is important. I think we need to find more and more ways of embracing tools like Gen AI and things like that. But where you need authenticity, where you need the truth, only humans can do that. And I think that is the most important thing that we've learned.
When you are looking to hire a video partner for any of the projects or for your clients, what are some of the green flags and red flags that you look for?
I think it has to do with what is the context of what you are taking them for. You know, if I'm trying to partner with somebody to create a great concept, then thinking becomes the ultimate evaluation of, can they bring a new perspective to this discussion? And that has to do with not only a partner, but who an organization invites even in the same company for a brainstorm. You know, you've often seen that, at least with us, for brainstorms, we get specific people into brainstorms knowing that they'll bring this type of perspective. Sometimes they'll challenge us. So that is one. But if it is for execution, then how well and how right fit can you execute to fit that concept? Because again, if you can think it, you can make it. But then how close is what you're thinking to what you've made? There is still a journey to take between what you're thinking and what your thought is, and to actually executing the way that you're seeing it in your mind. And that journey requires rigor, that journey requires practice, that journey requires an ability to learn and unlearn almost on a daily basis, especially when it comes to technology today. And if you're able to have those traits with you, then you start becoming a great partner, whether to us or whether to a client or whoever. And I think the last part is also, you know, if we say that thinking is a core differentiator, then what enables thinking, right? I mean, how do you measure that? And it has very little to do with intelligence. I'm not talking about marks. I'm talking about thinking. A lot of times you can tell how people think by their ability to connect at times very unrelated things to each other in a very unique way. We call those people creative. That's the creative side of thinking. But the other side of thinking, which is philosophical, deep understanding and all of that, comes from the ability to ask great questions. And I think that one is, to ask great questions is an art that we must pick up, because it is the fuel that is going to enable our thinking. Because without great input of that, I mean, what difference make how great of a thinker you are? You got to get rich perspective to be able to connect the dots.
Let's do something now where we would like for you to break down one of the videos or video campaigns that you did for, you know, one of your clients. Something that might be recent, that's something that might be, you know, a bit older, but something that is that you feel is important in terms of achievement for Ideosphere and for your clients.
Hands down, I think the answer for that is Cloud9. We last year were able to work, and Cloud9 gave us an excellent opportunity to create a video using AI. And that really changed a lot for us. And today we are offering AI-enabled videos as an offering. And I think that has been a really big change for us in the last year, and something that we are very proud of. But the more interesting part as to why we are proud is not because we are offering it, but how it actually came to be. And so Cloud9 is a chain of mother and baby care clinics across India. And when they approached us, they wanted to create a video that really spoke to the mother in terms of the brand and what they're trying to do. One of the things that we started to realize that, hey, you know, this whole point of the journey of a mother or pregnancy itself is not just restricted to the 9 months is what we see when I search on Google that a pregnancy is 9 months, but it's actually much more before when couples are trying to conceive, some struggle, some, all of that journey that comes in. And then even after the child is born, how a new young couple is learning to adapt with a new person, and how they're able to live with the fact that for the first time in their life, they have to take care of somebody else. And that somebody else is fully and 100% dependent on them. So that whole journey kind of really came out during that discussion. And so the concept of, then we came out with this campaign concept called Not Just 9 Months. And it really was co-created from the team. There's not one person who came out with this, it just happened. And we went back to them and we said, hey, this is the concept. They said, great. I was like, how do we want to make it? And in the conversation, I think one of us said, hey, what if we try an AI? And client, like I said, we work with great clients. Client was like, why not? Do it. And then we started actually working with it, and we created it. It came out to be really well. It came out really well. For us, it was like, wow, it was that aha moment where he said, okay, if you can think it, you can make it. And so amazing. And that is where I think for us that kind of happened. And that was the case study really that, or that journey that really allowed us to even get into a little bit of AI-enabled videos today. I don't think we can understand because it's evolving so quickly. I think what we did understand is the balance between where humans and AI can coexist to create something great, where a human is important and where an AI is important, and where us as a team can give up control to technology, and where we have to snatch back control from technology at certain points in the delivery chain. That, I think, is the bigger thing, because small thing like character continuity wasn't possible a month ago as well as it is just now in the latest version. So, all of these things are just changing, again, the whole realm of possibility of if you can think it, you can make it. And so, with connecting back to what we've spoken about before, if anyone can make it, and I will give the pinch of salt to, yes, there is an art to making it also, but if anyone can make some kind of narrative, then what's the differentiator? Is the thinking part. Because if you can think it, right? So it comes with a disclaimer. If you can think it, then you can make it. So you got to think it. And I think that is, again, it's going to hit back at that. And honestly, with all the tools that are happening, I think the biggest skill, the biggest area that any young or new generation, or even in our generation, can excel is the power of thinking and being able to think in different ways and understand different perspectives.
Thank you for your time. I really enjoyed this. I'm really looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That was good.